Revelation 21. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride, adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people. And God himself shall be with them and be their God.
Welcome, my child, to the eternal kingdom of light.
Come, all who seek peace and light. Enter into my eternal kingdom.
And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, Write, for these words are true and faithful. And he said unto me, It is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of the water of life freely. He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples for his younger brothers, and peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Rakakwadash, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, and just want to get into a lesson to how many, will fold to the M.O.T.B, as we know, all right, that the Lord is about to allow, Esau, to wreak havoc, especially here in America, and create, the circumstances of desperation into which a lot of people, are going to trust in this system, to fix the chaos. A lot of people are going to believe, his sale pitch of the M.O.T.B being the fix all to everything that's going on in the world. Okay. But we're finna see a lot of people bend the knee, even people that's close to us. Okay. A lot of people finna be put in straits. Okay. And only a remnant is built, to go through that straight gate and come out on the other side, man, with victory over the beast. Okay. There's only a few that's built to do that, man. And Lord will, we're a part of that number. Lord will, all right, that the Lord has us, going through, going through, all right, this refining process. Okay. So we can stand stiffly, okay, in these days, man. Okay. Because we're going to be tested, man. Our temptation is going to try the world, the globe. Okay. So the elect everywhere will be tested, man, and mainly right here in America, man. Okay. Because this is going to be the worst place, all right, during the time of tribulation. Now, when you go into Isaiah 36:6, it says, Lo, thou that trusted in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt. Okay. In Egypt, we know today, modern day Egypt is America, man, in the spirit. Okay, because just like Egypt was, the superpower, okay, of the time of our captivity. Okay, well, America has become a superpower in the time of this captivity, man. Okay, and it's a broken reed, it's a broken system. Okay, this is a broken system. Okay, and it's meant, all right, to keep the masses impoverished and the rich enriched. It's meant for these devils, all right, Esau, the modern day Pharaoh, to have more and more control, okay, and be more and more tyrannical, okay, and the people, all right, be subjugated, okay, to the devil's wickedness, man. All right, it's a system that doesn't benefit the people at all, man. Okay, it's a system that benefits the few, and our people, a lot of our people, they trust in this system, man, because he gives them just enough crumbs, all right, to have convenience, to have the delusion of freedom, this delusion of convenience, man. Okay, but in the new world order, he's gonna snatch that away, man. Okay, under the promise of more liberty and more freedom and prosperity, man. Okay, so wherein if a man lean, and when you lean on something, you depend on it. Okay, if you lean on the wall, well, you're dependent on that wall to hold you up. Okay, if you lean on the staff, okay, well, you have faith that that staff is able to hold you up to support you, man. Okay, so our people that look for this system for support, all right, where if a man lean, it will go into his hand where it's going to merge you with technology. Our people that continue to trust in the system, well, it's going to merge them. Their trust in the system is going to merge them with technology, man. It said it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is the king of Pharaoh. I mean, so is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him, man. Okay? So our people that trust in this system, and they lean upon it, they depend upon it, well, it's going to pierce them. Okay, the technology is going to go into their hand. Okay, because that's what trust in Esau leads to, merging with this technology, man. Okay, and being and being a complete that's you that's a token of complete rebellion to Yahweh Shema Shai. That's an official declaration of rebellion, of all our rebellion to Yahweh Shema Shai when you take that seat here, man. Okay, and a lot of people getting ready to take it, man. A lot of people getting ready to bend the knee, okay, to the devil, okay, because as the scriptures say, let's get this in Matthew, then we'll get that. I think that's in Proverbs. So you go to Matthew 7, okay, and 13. It says, "Enter you in at the straight gate." Because denying this chip is going to be the most difficult choice. Okay, in the times to come, that's going to be choosing the difficult route. Okay, we're going to be outcasts. We're not going to be able to operate in this society. We're going to lose, possessions of this world. Okay, have to deal with certain ridicule. Some families are going to be broken up, behind this, man. Okay, betrayal. You see? So enter ye in at the straight gate. For wide is the gate, okay, and broad is the way that leads to destruction, man. And that broad way, okay, is going to be the sea hill. It's going to be the way of convenience. Okay, it's going to plug you back into society. You'll be able to participate. You'll be part of the multitude that bend the knee. Okay, and Esau going to make it seem like that's the right thing to do. Like you're doing right by yourself, you're doing right by your family, you're doing right by, society, by, getting on board with this sea hill. Okay, he's going to present it as a pseudo salvation, man. Okay, and there's a lot of people that's going to be on that broad way that lead to destruction, and many there be. I said, many there be which go in thereat, but straight is the gate and narrow is the way, which means it's going to be a few, which lead to life, and a few there be that find it, man. So it's a decision that's going to have to be made. Everybody going to be faced with a decision. Okay, when it comes to this M.O.T.B. Okay. And in the moment, it's gonna be uncomfortable, man. But I hope it's in the back end. See, we have a vision beyond this place, man. And the Lord has made promises that we're gonna be okay. Okay, we're gonna go through changes. Okay, it's gonna get uncomfortable, for a moment. You see, but the Lord has promised we're gonna be good, man. And see, this is the hour of temptation, which is gonna test our faith. This is gonna prove us, man. The Lord finna see who's authentic. Okay, and that's why this grace period was, about us becoming unmovable, man, fully persuaded in what we believe. Okay, because as we believe, as we have faith, man, really, hey, the straight gate. Okay, there's even comfort on the straight gate, knowing that we're standing for righteousness, knowing that we're choosing our power above this wicked world, man. There's a comfort in it, you know. So it's gonna be uncomfortable in the flesh, but it's gonna be comforting in the spirit, man. So Lord will, hey, we choose our power. We choose to follow Yahweh Shai. We'd rather go without and keep Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, than to get this man's technology, been merged with this man's technology, and fall out of favor with our power. Okay, but only a few, are going to find, the straight gate. Most are going to bend the knee. All right, they're going to choose the devil, man. Okay, that's why scriptures say this. Look at this, Isaiah 8. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 8, verses 11. It said, for the Lord spake, for the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai spake thus to me with a strong hand, and instructed me that I should not walk in the way of this people, saying, and the scriptures say, follow not a multitude to do evil. Okay, and a lot of our people finna make the ultimate betrayal, and declare themselves in open rebellion to Yahweh Bashim Shai. Okay, so there's a remnant that's instructed not to follow the way of this people. Okay, it says, say not a confederacy or an alliance to all them who this people shall say a confederacy, man. So we're not to align ourselves, with this devil and his system, as our people are getting ready to make a confederacy, an alliance, with the devil, man. Our people finna choose Satan. Okay, neither fear ye their fear, nor be afraid, because their fear, is Satan. Their fear is Esau. They fear this nigga news reports. They fear losing in this world. Okay, they fear that there's nothing beyond this, man. Okay, this is their end all be all. You see, so their fear is in Esau, man, which makes them limited, man, and very controllable, man. See, our fear is in Yahweh Bashim Shai, which is going to make us unmovable in righteousness, man. Okay, because you go into this word confederacy. Okay, showing you when you go into this word confederacy, the Hebrew word is quashar. Okay, and what does it say? Conspiracy, treason, unlawful alliance, an unlawful alliance. Okay, so our people are going to make an unlawful alliance, which is treason. Okay, with the devil, with Esau, and they're going to take the seal. They're going to bend the knee, willingly bend the knee. Okay, conspiring to do evil. Esau is conspiring to undermine the Most High with technology, man. Okay, he's conspiring against the Most High. And you take that seal, that makes you an unlawful alliance, and guilty of treason against the king, against Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, so we're instructed not to make a confederacy. Read this again. Isaiah 8 and 12, say ye not a confederacy to all them whom this people shall say a confederacy, neither fear ye their fear, nor be afraid. Okay, sanctify the Lord of hosts himself and let him be your fear, and let him be your dread. Okay? So, man, we're going to choose the fear of the Lord. You see? We're going to obey our power above everything, man. Lord will have that number, man. We're going to obey our power. Our intent is to obey our power over everything, man. You know? We'll have hope in his mercy, man, than to fear Esau and bend the knee to what this nigga got going on, man. You know? We'll take our chances with the mercy of the Lord. Okay? And make him our fear. You know, make him our dread, man. Having a dread of betraying our power, have a fear of betraying our power, okay, above anything else, man. Okay? But a lot of our people, you know, as this devil, the Lord's going to allow this devil, you know, to really, you know, bring a squeeze, okay, in society, snatch away convenience, okay, create this civil unrest, okay. A lot of our people, man, they're really finna choose the wide gate, man, which is destruction, man. Isaiah 8:14, it says, and he shall be for a sanctuary, but for a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense unto the house of Israel. So he's going to be a sanctuary unto the elect. Okay? He's going to be a place of covering, man. You see, this is a time where the elect are going to be, because the Lord is already carving us away from society now. He's scrapulating us and moving us to the side. You know, Lord, will we endure, man? So we're already being set apart, okay, for miracles and for the Lord to show his power for deliverance, man. Okay? And that separation is going to be even more of a separation in these times. Okay, so he's going to be a sanctuary to the elect, but for a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense to both the house of Israel, all right, for a gin and for a snare to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. Okay, because a lot of our people, you know, they're going to be offended at these times, man. You know, Jake is already talking, you know, Jake is already, you know, they got these talking points. Well, why the Lord let us go through slavery? Okay, so you know they're going to feel some type of way, you know, when it comes to having to lose. Okay, it's going to be a lot of those that know that they're Israelites, man. It's going to be offended at the circumstances that we're going to have to go through, man, to get to the Lord's mercy, man. You know, to get to salvation, man. Okay, and the truth is going to become a stumbling block, man. You know, and hey, we just pray that we're not in that number, man, because it's all the will of the Lord. It says, and many among them shall stumble and fall and be broken and be snared and taken, man. Okay, and they're going to fall into this trap set by Esau, man, which is going to lead to, all right, the worst destruction, man, which is going to lead to the wrath without mixture, as the scriptures go into. Okay, their wrath without mixture. So let's go into this quick video from Brother Chandler Arrows of In the Nation. Let's see. So let's play this.
I'm getting a chip implanted into my brain. There's a study happening in LA, and I'm going over there to get this chip implanted in my brain so that I can pay my rent. They're going to compensate me heavily for my participation and all the data that they retrieve. So you're basically talking to a future robot. I'm so excited. We're going.
Says she getting the brain chip so she can pay her rent. You know, and that's the desperation that the devil and people are so short-sighted. All right, people are so dumbed down in this society. Okay, and people worship this technology, man. Okay, and people don't mind fully trusting this devil, trusting the science. Okay, because they look at Esau as if he got it figured out. Okay, so there's a lot of people, through desperation, man, and the squeeze, okay, is put on society, man. Many people are gonna run to this man's technology, man. Okay, they're gonna run to what he presents as the solution. Okay, and people really believe in this. You got people that really believe that this man is finna upgrade you with technology. People think they're gonna get the brain chip and be able to speak 20 languages and, learn, download, how to be a black belt, download. Nigga, this nigga lying. Okay, this shit is not gonna do that, man. Okay, this nigga is lying. That's why it's called a lying wonder. Okay, there's certain things that his technology can do, has certain capabilities, man. But this nigga far exaggerates. This nigga is lying. You see? And people think they're gonna take this and they're gonna be these superhumans, and the life expectancy is gonna increase, and they're gonna be the run, jump. Okay, think on the high level and be more creative, man. This nigga is lying, man. Okay, if data centers are overheating, these big buildings, okay, these huge buildings that covers hundreds of acres, okay, because of that data that's going through there, they need to constantly be cooled down. All right. So if he hook you up directly to that data center, what the hell you think that's going to do to your brain? Okay.
The $10,000 technology, Neuralink, which is a computer chip surgically implanted into the brain, enabling people like Nolan here to reconnect to the world. So you were paralyzed from the neck down.
Yeah, and for about 8 years, I was trying to find some purpose in my life.
And then you got Neuralink, and what has that changed?
Anything anyone can do on a computer, I can do.
And he literally does it by using only his brain. You are currently moving that with your thoughts.
Yeah, man.
I want to see you send a text with your brain.
Okay.
His hands are paralyzed, but we're going to film them so you can see they're not moving. And using the neurons firing in Nolan's brain, Neuralink can translate those signals into movements. He just typed hi with his mind. Is this not crazy to anyone else? I must give you a Neuralink, bro. Well, yeah, way too smart. I would love one, by the way. After the first couple thousand go through, I want one. Yeah, I want it. But 100%. I would be able to make so much money. It doesn't matter. There's procedural cost. You have to afford it, essentially. Once you have infinite, bandwidth to unlimited knowledge, you can make unlimited money.
Oh, how fitting. So we have Mr. Beast promoting the mark of the beast. Who saw that one coming? Do you not take it?
So he said, once you get the Neuralink, you're going to be open to infinite knowledge, man. You see, it's a lying wonder, man. Okay, and a lot of people, you're going to see a lot of celebrities get on board. You're going to see a lot of these podcasters get on board. Okay, and push this thing, okay, as if it's something great, as if it's going to open you up to this infinite knowledge, man. Okay, Esau's experimenting on people, man. This is the beginning of Esau, all right, experimenting, okay, with this whole Neuralink. Okay, and he's going to switch this system over to where everyone is going to have, the RFID microchip to participate in society. Okay, and with this whole Neuralink, man, this is the devil experimenting on you. Because if he had technology that gave him infinite knowledge, man, he would already have it in him. Okay, and there's no such thing as men getting infinite knowledge, man. That's reserved for the Most High. Okay, it ain't meant for men to have this infinite knowledge, man. Okay, that's the glory of the Most High. Okay, and you think that he's just gonna give Joe Sixpack, all right, and Karen and Javante, he's just gonna give them infinite knowledge, man? Come on, man. His whole system is built on dumbing you down. Okay, everything about this system is dumbing you down, making you into a goddamn imbecile. Okay, from the food to what he sprays in the air to the music is all meant to dumb you down. The media, okay, even AI is meant to dumb you down, man, destroy your cognitive ability, man, for critical thinking, problem solving. Okay, so here it is, man, spends billions of dollars, okay, to dumb you down, but all of a sudden he's gonna give you a device that gives you infinite knowledge, man. This nigga is lying. Okay, and a lot of people are going to believe this lying wonder, man. And he doesn't have the ability to do that. Okay, Esau be boasting the ability he don't have, man. Okay, he's able to do things. The Lord has allowed this man to tap in. Okay, but he's limited, man. He makes it seem like he's unlimited and what he can do, man. This nigga science is limited. And a lot of this shit, when you get into it, it be failing. You know, a lot of these things be failing, man. Okay, this whole neuro thing is him experimenting on you just because a nigga can text hi and send an email. There's not nothing extravagant, man. Okay, this nigga text hi in the wheelchair, still paralyzed, but this nigga got the key to infinite knowledge, man. Get out of here, man. Okay, so let's play this.
How do you not take the mark?
Yeah.
You have to be willing to die. Suffer. It says anybody that takes the mark of the beast, that their name is not written in the Lamb's book of life. Meaning the names that are written down, the ones that are going to heaven, your name is not written in the Lamb's book of life if you take that. I mean, this is no joke. You think it's a perilous thing to bear the name of Jesus Christ in this world.
You can't buy or sell without the mark of the beast?
Without the mark, yes. That's
The Apostle John, on some Greek island 2,000 years ago said that.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And so prior to technology showing up where it's at now in 2024, these things were impossible. Couldn't you? I mean, how's that going to happen?
That's a pretty specific call, though.
Very specific. Yeah. So now all the things that need to exist physically are all here now, so that the prophecies that have been laid out could now physically manifest. Now, I don't know if that's going to be today or 100 years from now or 1,000 years from now. I don't know the answer to that, but I do know this is a new era. So when you read Revelation, you read Daniel, and you read these other prophecies, it now doesn't sound like science fiction anymore because we see it every single day.
That is absolutely crazy.
Is that a light bulb going off or what?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And Tucker know he be acting, Tucker Carlson. But yeah, man, and see, it's obvious, man. And just like he said, John's seeing this over 2,000 years ago. Okay, and we know, like he says, all the technology exists now. Okay, for that prophecy come to pass. It ain't gonna be 1,000 years, it ain't gonna be 100 years, man. We in them days. We are in them days. Okay, for these things to come to pass, man. For this devil to make this mandatory. We're close. We're you can count the months on this thing. You see, that's how close we are, man. So yeah, the Lord gave John the Revelator that vision around the Isle of Patmos, okay, over 2,000 years ago, and he's seen this technology, man. He prophesied of this technology, man, or what this devil, will be trying to attempt today, man, what the beast will be doing in these times. Right before, okay, the Lord will bring down Esau Edom, where he would try to bring out a digital system, man. All right, he will bring out a technocracy, a complete rebellion, okay, against the Lord, man. This technology is complete rebellion, okay, and a lot of people are going to be taken. A lot of people are going to be taken by this lying wonder, okay, and like he said in the book of Revelation, when you go into it, Revelation 13, and this is Revelation 13:5. It says, and there was given, okay, unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. Okay. And this is this beast system of today. Okay. And it has been empowered. All right. This devil, beginning with the elites, they have revived. All right. This ancient Okay, is this pagan Roman Empire. All right, but now it's digital. Okay, so they brought back the image of pagan Rome. Okay, with more technology, man. Okay, and ancient Rome was a very anti-Messiah society, man. Okay, that's the empire that crucified the Lord. Okay, and then you had the continual, all right, persecutions of what the followers of Yahushua. They saw happen within Rome, beginning with who? Nero. Okay, you had Claudius. Okay, what did he do? He expelled, all right, the believers. He expelled Jake. Okay, which he was I believe he was the stepfather of Nero. Okay, so you had, all right, the persecution of the believers within what? Pagan Rome. Okay, because the Caesars and emperors, they believed themselves to be gods, and they had their different deities. Okay, and Roman culture was completely anti-Messiah, man. Okay, so this is what this devil has revived back in the earth. All right, it says, and power was given unto him to continue 40 and 2 months. Okay, 40 and 2 months, going into 42 months, which is 3.5 years, symbolic of 350 years. Okay, which is the same with the 3.5 days. Okay, in Revelation, the 11th chapter. So from 1619, all right, to 1969, all right, the devils, okay, were able to go, all right, unhindered, unopposed. Okay, but see, the Lord began to raise a standard in the spirit, starting with Elder Albert Bivens, man, which began to go into Yahushua. Okay, and now you have a full-blown spiritual resistance against what the devil is trying to do. Okay, against what this devil is attempting to do, man. Okay, and it says, and he opened his mouth in blasphemy against the Most High, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. Yeah, so this devil now, because this new world order, okay, is blasphemy, man. It's him saying that he can be the Most High. It's him saying that he can replace the Most High with his technology. It's him saying that he has created a wisdom above the wisdom of the Most High. Okay? It's him saying that the Lord's people don't matter. Okay? We got technology now, so nations don't matter anymore. Matter of fact, I'm finna do away with nations. I'm finna transhuman everybody. I'm finna patent humanity after my image, man. This is the blasphemy, man. You see? This is what this devil is trying to pull off. Verse 7, it says, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. So it goes back, all right, during the time of the Renaissance when we were overcome by this devil. Okay? This goes back to the beginning of the 350-year period, man. Which he started a little bit before 1619, about a century before. Okay? Because you had the conquistadors come over, all right, in the late, 1400s, early 1500s, and began to, all right, establish colonies in the New World, enslaving the northern tribes. Okay? And then eventually, all right, he would begin to take down southern kingdom, in Africa, and transport them over here, all right, to these Edomite colonies, okay, which were slave colonies, man. So he eventually overcame the saints. It says, and power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written. Okay, you see that? So the devil was able to conquer the earth, man, conquer the tribes, the saints. All right, and he was able to conquer the earth, man. Through his military and through his economy. Okay, and through witchcraft, man, his influence. You see? All right, it says, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. Okay, So if you're not written in the book of life, you're given to this man to worship him and take his image and be destroyed. You know, you're given over. All right. If you're not predestined from the foundation of the world, if the blood of Yahweh wasn't meant, all right, to pardon you from sin, okay, you're going to be given over to this man to worship this beast, to admire this beast, to choose this beast, okay, and take the M.O.T.B, man, which is going to lead to the wrath of the Lord, man, to you having to deal directly with the wrath of the Lord, man. You know, and we pray, the Lord makes us unmovable, keeps us unmovable in these times, man. All right, it's Revelation 14:9. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, okay, and this image has turned into what, man? Okay, a digital Roman Empire, man. Okay, a digital pagan Roman Empire. Okay, with the promise of liberty and prosperity. Okay, but it's ultimately rebellion against Yahweh Bashim Shai. So if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink out of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Okay, so if you take this M.O.T.B, okay, if you bend the knee, all right, and you take this, man, okay, you just put yourself in the crosshairs of the wrath of the Most High without mixture, man. You know, so those nukes gonna be hitting your ass, that fire from the chariot gonna be on your ass, man. You know, and the Lord gonna make sure you feel it. You know he's gonna stretch this thing out, man. Okay, and those chariots are gonna be hovering, over the atmosphere. You see, in the presence of that's why I say in the presence of the Lamb of the angels, because Yahweh Shai gonna be in that chariot. Those angels gonna be in their chariots over the atmosphere. The elect gonna be in those chariots. Okay, watching the judgment, man, overseeing the judgment. You see, and we pray that we're Revelation 15, not Revelation 14, man. Okay, because you go into Revelation the 15th chapter. We'll start at verse 2. It says, and I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, those that went through the straight gate. See, there's a victory on the straight gate. Ain't no victory on that broad gate, man. And over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps, of the Most High, and they sing the song of Moses, the servant of the Most High, and the song of the Lamb. Okay, so it says they stood on the sea of glass, man. That's in the atmosphere, looking through that chariot. So the chariot gonna have windows, man, to see out of. Okay, the destruction, America being on fire, man, through the atmosphere from their view. All right, above the atmosphere is gonna look like a glass mingled with fire, like glass in a bottle. Okay, and it says, and they sung the song of Moses, the servant of the Most High, and the song of Moses, is a song of defeating our enemies. The Most High defeating our enemies, man. What you gonna do it through Yahweh Shai, and the song of the Lamb. Okay, because he's going to do it via Yahweh Shai, saying, great and marvelous are thy works, Lord power almighty, just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints. You see that? Thou King of saints. You see? So the Lord is setting us up for a victory, man. Okay, he's setting the elect up for a victory, man. If you're Lord will, we're predestined. Lord will, we're written in the book of life before the foundation of the world, man. Abaratazah, man. You know? But that's the point. Just wanted to tap into that, Lord will, you brothers. All right, and you sisters will edify once again. Want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushua Bahashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers. And peace and blessing, salutation, hopefully.